for sure.
They are, for all intents and purposes, the exact same list. They're not literally the same list, but it's about 56 cards probably.
Of course,
So they're
Bromack.
both
Oh,
the
sorry. Go
Jirachi
ahead.
build. Oh, you're good. Just
Yeah.
saying they're both the Jirachi build, not the Cinccino build.
Jirachi, I think, is kind of the more popular build. Maybe not. I mean, toward making Cinccino Rapid Strike a thing, I think is appealing. But Jirachi, I think, is more comfortable for more people in any deck that you're playing because he's been out for so long. So I can't really fault anybody for picking Jirachi. So we will see what's going on here. It does look like he's set up enough to at least get a Rapid Strike V out there and at least the energy on him.
Yes, this hand is it's quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the energy, you've got the Rapid Strike. You can, all right, I was gonna say you can keep the VMAX, so you have a turn 2 VMAX if you so choose.
Yep.
Clearly choosing not to. We're gonna see a PCOM, a quick little prize check. The reset stamp is there. That is a pretty important card.
Yes, it is. Has all 4 of his Rapid Strike energies. Also a very key component to this matchup.
Both lists playing Dojo, so it's kind of a question of who's going to be the first one to throw the Dojo out there. Important note, Bromack is the only one of the 2 that plays Karate Belt. So a little bit more of a comeback mechanic there between Stamp and Karate Belt compared to Cole's list. Cole's list just opted for, I'm not actually sure what Cole's list opted for instead. I mean the Hoopa.
Yeah, Hoopa there for the free retreat to kind of just combo well off of the Rapid Strike's first ability or first attack, where he just needs to come off or switch into the active to do 150 damage. So I see the synergy there with the Hoopa, but the Karate Belt, especially late game, especially if you're losing, can be huge.
Going aggressively to grab the Mew there, this is something that I see a lot of players do, and it's always like, I understand the logic, but also there's literally 0% chance the opponent pulls off a Gmax Rapid Flow next turn.
Yeah.
So it always feels like a sketchy play to put that Mew down so early when you could have used it to grab a different resource.
Yeah, and especially with, the threat of boss out there, especially early boss killing that Mewtwo, it could really kind of affect you late game and the opposing Urshifu doing the spread damage how he wants to do. So interesting decision, like you said. And thank you so much, Pittsburgh Pens, for the bit.
And correctly holding the air balloon, it is important to note Cole plays a Tool Scrapper and Bromack plays 1 air balloon. So as soon as that air balloon hits the field, you assume Cole wants this Tool Scrapper. The air balloon is one of the best tools in this deck.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And actually, with saying that, I had a question for you. I've been seeing a lot more Tool Jammer out there. Do you think Tool Jammer is a better card at the current moment than the Tool Scrapper?
It depends on the deck. Eternatus, it's very good because of how aggressively you draw and what matchups you want it for, which is Big Charm and ADP, as well as against Zashi and Zamazenta, the Luke Metal stuff. Yep. Versus a deck like this, you kind of like the Tool Scrapper because you don't want to have to force your Urshifu active to shut off the Stealthy Hood and Pikarom, because then they can just boss around it anyway, which is one of the things they want to do in that matchup. So it has its purpose depending on what deck. For this one, it's here for Pikarom Stealthy Hood mostly.
Yeah.
And so Jammer's not the optimal play, while it is the optimal play in Eternatus because you're getting rid of these passive tools.
Yes.
That you want to shut off on your turn, as opposed to shut them off on your opponent's turn.
No, that's you're probably 100% correct on that. That was a great assessment for sure. We are seeing the escape rope to see what he's going to pull up, and potentially hitting. Although if he's trying to do the combination of Urshifu's Rapid Strike first attack, he definitely needs to evolve before he switches from the bench. So we'll see if he can possibly put that balloon on the Mew and go for that Marnie play. So that's exactly what he's doing here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a mistake we saw a lot in the early format. I think by now most people have figured it out, I hope. But yes, it was very common to see your opponent promote the V, evolve to a V max, and then hit you for 30 damage.
Yeah, it is funny how many times you've seen that on the ladder, and then your opponent just instantly scoops. Because they're like, oh, I'm dumb, I'm out.
You got to learn somehow.
Yeah.
Ooh, debating between attaching to Mew.
I mean, he still has the strafe play, and he can scoop up that Jirachi as he's going to do, and really trying to go for that attack. I think trying to find some kind of way to evolve. Now he does get it with the Calm, so he can put that Garatina back in the deck and either get the VMAX version or find further draw Pokemon with a Dedenne Crobat. So let's see what he does here.
Ooh, gonna go for the Dedenne play. So putting down that juicy, easy to KO 2 prizer, hoping to hit Switch VMAX. That's close.
So he finds the net to give him a little bit more outs. It has 2 more Switch, so he does have another Stellar Wish in play if he chooses to do that, to really go for that play. And at this point, he's already committed a Dedenne, so I think that's probably the play that he should go for.
And we're going to see the Strafe hitting for 60 because of the weakness on Hoopa.
Yep, so he does elect to do that and switch back.
So very unfortunate. We saw the PCOM away of the VMAX on turn 1, and then the quick ball for the Mew instead of the quick ball for the V and holding onto the PCOM to hold onto the VMAX. And that play comes back to bite Bromack a little bit there, because the VMAX is the hardest thing to find. Pokemon Communication's just a terrible card.
Yeah, I agree. You need too many things to get going right in your board state for that card to work the way you want to. And I know you did mention it in that first turn where it was interesting that he put that there, and it definitely affects him because now he has no way to really draw into any additional cards to get that, and then he top decks. So not punished. So
unfortunately, though, we do see the Jirachi go down to the Hoopa, and Cole being able to keep the VMAX on the bench is such a huge advantage.
So he does have the boss. So let's see if he does bring that up.
Yep, this play makes a lot of sense.
Yep, setting
Hitting
up
the Hoopa does nothing for you.
You get one prize, but then you're not really doing much. You're really, the big threat right now is the opposing Rapid Strike.
Yes, that is you also have a Dedenne down. Like you have to make the first move. You have to make the first big move. And that's exactly what this play is, because your opponent can just go knock out the Dedenne, knock out another VMAX, and then you lose the game at that point. So you have to hit the VMAX because you kind of have to make you plan that you're going to have to make the 3 prize knockout game plan here.
I'm taking away the Jirachi. Okay, so you're just you thin that out to get the Marnie.
This is the other benefit of the boss play. Your opponent might think that you actually have a decent hand because you did play a supporter, and it was arguably the best supporter you could have played that turn.
Yes.
Which means they're more likely to Marnie you.
Yeah, I saw earlier on your Twitter your Mellow bingo, and one of those being players incorrectly playing Marnie, and I do that all the time. I'm like, I have given you no reason to Marnie me. I have like a 3-card hand, didn't play a supporter. Why are you doing this? And they Marnie you into a worse hand, so it's always feels bad. But
yeah, it definitely happens quite frequently. Sometimes Marnie saves you, but I wouldn't count on it saving you most of the time.
Yeah. So it does get the Garatina to take that special energy away, which is kind of huge. So he's ensuring that he can't get knocked out solely by the Rapid Strike, opposing Rapid Strike.
Yes, a very big play there. Permitting the Rapid Flow, making them have energy plus switch to really do damage next turn. And here comes the Crobat. So that bench is looking not pretty, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is looking very good for Cole here when we look about the long game.
Does get the reset. Does he play it?
The Dojo, yes. The Dojo actually gets the knockout here because Cole took the single prize.
Yes, so he could take knockout, but then be susceptible to a following knockout. So it looks like he did elect not to.
Interesting play here. Potentially going for the Rapid Flow next turn to take multiple prizes or to hit 3-3. or to hit the 2/3 prizers.
So I don't incredibly hate that play, because if he does take knockout, now he goes ahead of the prize race, and that stadium hurts him in the next play, and his opponent could potentially evolve switch into a following KO at that point. So not 100% hating that play, especially because Chuck has no backup V going right now. So we'll see what the response is here.
Yes, that is the most important point, is Cole is not getting this knockout if you don't put down that dojo.
Mm-hmm.
And currently, your best attacker after this Urshifu is a Mew, which isn't the dream.
No, it's not the dream. So he definitely needs to get a backup attacker up and going for sure.
And there's the Evil Admonition for 90. Cole appears to have a pretty dead hand.
Okay, so we do get the professors, but he has 2 rapid strikes in there, and I believe he had one other rapid strike. That he had to either discard.
Strikes.
Oh, so he does.
Bromack, this is the last 2 rapid strikes.
So you hate to see professors at this point, but he's kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, because if he doesn't attack, he potentially is just going to lose it anyways. But he can definitely take out that Hoopa and the rapid strike on the bench.
Yeah, it definitely looks like those are the 2 best options. Force the switch VMAX energy play, because you can't leave this Hoopa alive. The Hoopa currently KOs the VMAX.
Yes. So I think this is the right play.
This does make it a little awkward, because it's going to shut off Karate Belt and prevent Dojo from being best utilized by you, but this is a good play. It's a good play.
Yeah, I mean, for the situation, I think he did what's best, and unfortunately, his prize is okay. So that last quick ball really kind of helped him. He can, he's still at least a turn or 2 away from a response attack with his backup attacker. So we'll see what's going to go on here with Cole, if he's going to take knockout with this, with his rapid striker Urshifu.
And Cole had that VMAX ready to go. So let's see if Cole can find a switch card and an energy. We could potentially see a data changer or Crobat here, but that's kind of an all-in play. Not sure if Cole's willing to make such an aggressive play, but also I don't know what's in his hand.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about not being able to see both sides.
And there's the Dedenne. Okay, so Cole has to hit this knockout this turn.
Yeah.
Or else it's potentially just a boss away. Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's maybe going to play energy, Crobat.
So very close. Pecon the Day. Gonna go ahead and grab a Crobat. Good call.
Still gets KO'd by an Urshifu because of weakness. Gets the Marnie, which is
Marnie's not a switch card.
Not a switch card, but it also can potentially hurt Bromack, because he did have a play where he could potentially start going back up.
Ooh, and there's the switch. I'm not sure how Cole responds, or sorry, how Bromack responds to this.
I mean, at this point, you would think you kind of just have to yeet that hand away with the with the professors and see what's going on, but takes knockout to go down and tie on prizes. So Bromack doesn't have any win condition for this current turn, and now he is a boss away next turn from losing.
And we're going to have to see a research of 2 rapid strike energies, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think that is the best play. Possibly scoop up netting that Garatina and putting the Mew in the active for that switch out option. No, at that point, no, you don't want to do that. Scratch that idea.
Now, there is still a reset stamp in Bromack's deck.
Yeah.
So definitely going to be looking for that. We know there's a boss's orders on top. That is choreographing that Cole probably wins next turn if you don't disrupt that hand with not a Marnie. And there's a research.
So he doesn't put another single prizer out there. So unfortunately, it's looking like he might be a little bit trouble here. He could potentially go ahead and strafe and do some kind of chip damage, but I don't think it's important enough damage that's going to make any difference if he even gets to a next turn, at least on the 3-prizer. He's definitely hoping to kind of get some kind of quick ball access to get that Dedenne, the next Dedenne out to try to find boss energy for knockout. But Cole's just a boss away.
Super great.
Well, Cole's a boss and a switch away.
Yep, and that is that's game.
And yep, so there is the boss, and he will take game.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bromack was just never able to get down a second V, which is, I mean, you saw it, missed a turn there, and that makes a humongous difference.
Yeah, at the beginning of that game, that PCOM, I think, might have been potentially where it went wrong. Just not getting out that second V was huge. But we still have 2 more matches that are on table, so we're going to jump over to Colton on table 3 because we haven't, or the last match was pretty quick. So we're going to jump back over. So this is Victini, Victory Scorch. No, it's not Victory Scorch. It's just Victini, which, straight Victini versus Mad Party. At the moment, it's tied up 4 prizes apiece. So without actually knowing exactly how many energies that Mad Party has gone through, it definitely changes what we might think of what this game is. Looks like he does have the knockout for this turn on that Sinistea.
Let's see. Ooh, they are down their reset stamp. That is a very big deal in this matchup. See, attach the Volk. Throw down the Hearth. Thin the deck a little bit. And debating between the Marnie, it looks like. Not a terrible idea. You're taking out their only Poltegeist. So they're going to have to live with 4 cards to find, I don't know what they need, but whatever it is they need, they're going to need to do it in 4 cards.
For sure. So I'm just kind of going here.
There's the Marnie. Marnie into nothing that great, but
it's fine. It's a doable hand here.
You got the knockout. I wonder how much that Mad Party is hitting for. There's 120 on the Victini. If they're only hitting for that much,
they're a little behind.
Yeah, I think that Colton would be in a good spot then. Promote the Bunnelby. Of course, they have the U-turn board back in hand now, so they can retreat the Bunnelby if they so choose. I think I would like to see actually the promoted Dedenne, unless they're going to Giovanni's Exile it.
Yeah, Giovanni's Exile is, I think, a must at this point. Because if Colton could get that 2-prizer, no matter what he loses next turn, could put him just ahead in the prize race, because he doesn't have to worry about doing a whole lot of damage.
Yes, and there's the Giovanni's Exile in their list, so they might be playing to clean up that Dedenne. But normally, since it can't attack, you'd want to throw a U-turn board on it. That way it can't get boss stalled. Can't really boss stall a Bunnelby because I'll just knock you out. And there goes the Giovanni's Exile. Which is fine, because obviously they need cards this turn.
And there's a boss for 3-prizers, so this is actually really huge.
Oh, they're hitting for 220.
220, so they're going down to 1 prize. And I don't see a great win condition here for Colton, especially that he's already used his GX attack. So he can't get off the Reshizard's GX attack. He can outrage with a Zigzagoon ping to take a knockout, but we will see if he gets it. He does not. Oh, so he doesn't play a Zigzagoon. So I don't see how he comes back at this point.
No, the only things that you can take a knockout with, get knocked out right in return.
Yeah. And if that's the case, he's in a lot of trouble.
Here's a quick ball. Potentially take a knockout with an Eldegoss. I like this play. Grab a Welder. Go ahead and Welder to the Eldegoss. Hopefully you hit a switch. Float up, take the knockout, and go into the Reshizard.
That's a great play. That's a great call there.
Of course, they still win with boss energy, but they have a lot of energy left and a lot of boss left.
Yeah, so Colton doesn't look like he's in a great position at the moment, but we will see.
Oh, choosing not to. So the nice thing about this play is then if they hit you, you could have gotten the outrage knockout plus boss. No, you can't boss plus outrage. Never mind. No, because you welder 2 to the Eldegoss. I mean, it's not like a great play because you have to hit switch. I don't know how many switches Colton's down, but you welder 2 to the Eldegoss, attach 1 to the Reshizard, float up for the knockout. They hit the Reshizard, and then you have boss outrage on the Dedenne for game. I think that's the only win I see here, unless there's like no switch left, obviously.
Gotta just play to your outs, even if it doesn't look great. The other day, yeah, there is a switch, yeah. So you never want to give up, no matter how bad it does seem. The other day, I was playing a game at our local game store, and definitely thought I had lost, and ended up pulling out a win when I didn't think so. And I probably should have scooped beforehand. So definitely, moral of the story is don't quit. Although this is not looking great that he doesn't have an attack.
Yeah, and the boss stall on the Dedenne. I'm not sure why choose Dedenne over Rangaroo.
Yeah, a Rangaroo is probably the play you want to do, because it's just easier to switch out with energy either way. But there it is for the well played and the win here.
And there's game. Yeah, unfortunately, had you taken out the energy, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It would have been game kind of regardless. Colton had nothing to really do there. I would have liked to see the Eldegoss play for sure.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and take a look at another one of our videos here. Also, if you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe. It goes a long way in helping us grow. Remember, we release a podcast episode once a week on all the major platforms. We also stream every Friday on Twitch and make a Whimsey Watch monthly report.